to have you back. Time now for our weekly segment, Tech Talk. And today we're joined by journalist Nafisa Akabor. Nafisa, always a pleasure to have you. Now, I'm very jealous because, you have test-driven the Audi e-tron. Tell us more about this. And what's Audi doing to us on our small change in our coins come January?
Yes, so the electric vehicle landscape is going to get very interesting next year with the arrival of at least 15 new cars. Out of that allocation, Audi will bring in 6 e-tron models. Some of them have already arrived in the country, as you know, and I had the opportunity to spend almost a week in the e-tron SUV. Ooh. So Audi, they've taken a different approach with design. They opted to keep their EV looking just like any other car. So it's only when you look closely that you'll see it's an EV. But with this particular e-tron I drove, it doesn't have side mirrors, it has virtual side mirrors. So there's 2 stalks sticking out on the side that houses the 2 cameras. And when people notice in traffic, they're like definitely interested. And it's like, where's the side mirrors? But it's actually displayed inside the car door. It's a live camera feed. But for someone like me who's short-sighted, I actually prefer it because I actually can see clearer the cars behind me. So that's getting a lot of attention. The car is full of tech. It has 360-degree cameras with touch screens everywhere, a digital cockpit. It's very modern. Even the climate controls of the passenger seat has a touch screen. And in terms of range, which I'm sure you're curious about, I was getting about 340 kilometers from a single charge. It's better than some of the older gen EVs I've driven, but also depending on how efficiently you drive, you can get a bit more. I find it to be a bit of a gamification aspect because I'm always wanting to use as little range as possible. So I make it a game in my mind and I try to get to my destination using as little range as possible. But there are modes you can choose. If you're struggling, you can choose efficiency, so the car will do it for you. But it's a bit of an adjustment. You start in the car to total silence. And also the charging is another thing consumers need to be aware of. There's also, I was using a lot of fast chargers to charge the car because it's quite powerful and it needs more power for the charging specifically. So it wasn't working for me to charge at home, but Audi will be giving customers a free upgrade for their home with an industrial plug. So it charges it a bit faster. Yeah. But I was relying on fast chargers to charge, which thankfully Jaguar Land Rover have rolled out last year or a few years ago, and it has been helping me quite a bit. Audi has their own chargers, but they're busy rolling them out as well. Yeah.
If I may just ask you before I move on to F&B, how much are these cars? How much is this? Because I mentioned coins earlier on, because that's all I'm left with, coins for January. So I'm worried that if I get tempted, can I afford this?
So the e-tron SUV that I drove is 1.99 million. It is one of 6 vehicles, and that is the cheapest of the lot, the least expensive option.
Wow. Well, thanks, Nafisa, for just taking me through the cheaper one, before you overwhelm me with the others. All right, let's move on to F&B business now. What does F&B have in store for us? I hear that they have launched rather new tools. Now, how will these actually help businesses as well?
Yes, so anybody with an F&B business account holder, you can now buy your fiber connectivity from the F&B Connect part. As you know, that they sell SIM cards. They've partnered with Box Telecom to offer fiber solutions, and they're going for everything is accessible from one interface. So if you're a business customer, you can get that. But for every other customer, they are now selling software vouchers directly on the F&B app, which is a bit useful. You can buy Microsoft 365 vouchers, Kaspersky, Norton antivirus. These are not just something you can buy, but you can also gift. So if you know if a business is actually not doing well, you can gift it to them for the month. And they also, the Microsoft one in particular, I would like to point out, is actually cheaper than buying from Microsoft directly, and this is a permanent price.
All righty then. Well, of course, we'll have to leave it there. Nafisa, thank you so much for keeping us up to speed with this. Nafisa Akabor, tech journalist, joining us, of course, for our tech feature this Thursday morning.